Hello, my name is Bradley and I'm your host of The Internal Game. I know I've been on a presence kick as of late, right? I love talking about presence in the present moment, but I want to make a video about specific people, right? I know it's highly requested, and I know that like a lot of times that's where we find ourselves in these channels and things like that. So I want to, definitely add my take on it. And this video is inspired by somebody who I've worked with, and I had a conversation with her after a session one time, and she said, "You know what? I just don't want to show up that way anymore." And like I was like, yes, like yes, that's where we want to be. It's not so much about like the person. It's never about the person, right? And to take the attention off the person and say, you know what? Actually, like, I see what I was doing. I see that my state of being is needy. I see that like I'm obsessing. I see that like I am acting in ways that like I out of fear that I don't want to do that anymore, right? And to take that attention and bring it back to self and say, you know what, like not only do I not want to show up that way anymore, I'm not going to show up that way anymore, right? Like, if state of being is king, and we've bought into that idea, which I have, right? And if we know this, and I've also made videos about, our state of being is always saying something. It's always saying something. If you're in a needy place, if you are desperate, if you are obsessing over manifestation content, trying to manifest a person, right? Like, if you were to take this state and vocalize it to another, to your specific person, like, what that would sound like would be quite insane, right? I'm not saying that you're insane, because you're not, but identifying with a version of the mind, of a mind-made self that is desperate and needy and clingy and obsessing. What that would look like is a person walking up to this person and saying, hey, guess what? I think about you all the time. I think yesterday I affirmed for you like 5,000 times because I watched a video that said that I should affirm, and that like I would change my subconscious mind if I affirmed that. And I didn't even focus on me when I was doing that. I didn't even focus on like any really thing about me. I actually was only focused on you. Do you know why I do that? Because I just love you so much. Not only do I love you so much, I'm not even quite sure I even know what love is at this point. I just need you. I need you so bad. Like, there's something in me missing and I need you. I can't think about anything else. I only think about you. Like, that's it. And I watch video after video and I try to manifest you. And when I do that, like, I feel safe, but then I stop watching the video and then I don't feel safe anymore, so I watch them more, and then like I check my phone and I'm looking for you, and then you don't text back, and then I start believing thoughts that you don't like me, or that you're not going to give me the time of day, or maybe you're even seeing somebody else. So then I stalk your Facebook and your social media, and I create little stories in my head as to why I'm not going to get you. And then I get back on there on that video and watch something, and then I do this all the time. I just really want you. I don't think you understand how much I need you, right? Like, I need you to feel complete because I'm incomplete, right? So like, please come to me right now. Like come to my house. Like, talk to me. Please talk to me all the time. And by the way, when you do talk to me, it's not going to be enough, because I'm going to be like, oh, how come you didn't send an emoji? Because I feel really incomplete inside. So like, I have this unreasonable expectation of you, and this unreasonable idea that you're going to complete me. So I need you to do whatever I need you to do, like when I need you to do it. If not, I'm gonna watch more videos and try to change your behaviors with affirmations, right? Like, think about this, right? Think about this. If somebody, I know I've made a video about this, but if somebody came to you and said this to you, you would be like, whoa, right? So maybe, just maybe, like, we can look at this and say, you know what? Even though I'm not actually doing that to my person, right? Even though I'm not texting this, even though I'm not showing up at his house or her house and saying these things, because we are all connected, because there's nothing separate from me, because my person is me, is an extension of me, this is what they feel. This is what I'm subconsciously communicating with him or her them, moment to moment, every day, all day. And not only am I not seeing any progress over here, maybe little spurts and spurts here, little breadcrumbs here and there, like that I'm going to jump on, but not only am I not seeing any progress really, I don't even know who I am anymore. Like all my focus is on getting this person. And if we can see this and see the insanity in it, again, not calling you crazy, because you're not, you are God, but like, recognizing that you have thrown an identity on yourself that is attached to some person, that's identity's wrapped up in getting this person and what they've done, what they've not done, all this stuff. That recognizing that is insane. And then saying to ourselves, you know what? I see it. You know, first step in change is awareness. You know, like realizing, okay, I was doing that. Okay, whew, okay, my bad. Right? Okay, it's all good. Don't need to beat myself up. I was fearful. I was buying into a bunch of thoughts. You know, just I had some beliefs about self and the world, and I just was buying into it. And of course, it makes sense. I was scared, but I don't want to show up that way anymore. And not only do I not want to show up that way anymore, I'm not going to show up that way anymore. And I'm going to take responsibility for my state of being. And I'm going to take responsibility for my own happiness and my own unhappiness, instead of projecting my happiness onto someone or onto someone else and saying that they have my happiness in their pocket, and projecting my own unhappiness onto them and saying that they're doing something or not doing something that's making me unhappy and I need them to stop. And to being fully responsible for your own state of being. This is the best gift you can ever give yourself. And the best gift you can ever give anybody else. So, when you get to this point, hopefully you can make this decision today. A decision of being aware that, like, okay, I was acting highly unfavorably. No wonder my person feels a certain way, because we're all connected. And like, if I was to vocalize my state of being, that's what they feel. Oh no, because guess what? I've probably been there in my life. I've been there in my life too, right? Where somebody was really, really aggressive, really, really like suffocating. That's what it felt like. You felt like you were suffocated. And guess what? I didn't really want to be around them. It was too much. And my mind tricked me into thinking that just because I'm not around this person, they didn't feel this. That I could just act cool on text messages. Oh, it's okay if you don't want to show up. It's cool. Maybe another time. I could just act cool, because they would think that I'm just acting cool, that I'm playing it Joe cool or Jane cool. But in the inside, I'm obsessing, I'm worrisome, I'm fearful, I'm doubtful, I'm completely unstable. And I thought that they couldn't feel that. Well, guess what? Now I know that they can, and that's why I'm experiencing what I'm experiencing with this person. So now I'm going to drop it. I'm going to bring the attention back to myself. And I'm going to care about how I'm showing up moment to moment. Mainly with my state of being. Mainly with checking thoughts and saying, oh, those are just thoughts. Those don't apply to me. Oh, person, what if there was somebody else? Oh, that's just a thought. That doesn't apply to me. Oh, but it's been 8 hours since that's just a thought. That doesn't matter. I'm actually busy today. I have some things I need to do. I'm going to the gym, or I'm actually writing a book, or I have a couple goals I need to do some daily work on. Yeah. I literally have anything better to do. Anything better to do than to obsess over somebody. I have anything better to do than to spend all of my time and my focus wondering, worrying, thinking about a person and what they're doing, what they're not doing, how I need them to do something differently. Oh, I need to affirm for them. I need to change their behavior. No, how about I change my behavior? How about I focus on me? Because if everything and everyone is a reflection of me, it's probably a really good idea that I go straight to the source and take care of that and experience a new reflection. Because I promise you, once you start, just a thought, just a thought, just a thought. Oh, what are they doing? Just a thought. Once you do this, you're going to find stability. The obsession is going to subside. Because the obsession is only there because there's a lot of momentum of you thinking that like, of just mainly hyper-focused on this person. That like, it might feel a little unnatural to be like, that's just a thought, because you don't have to buy into it, because you have been buying into it, and then you start to stabilize, and then from there, you can say, okay, how the fuck do I want to show up? I want to be confident. I want to be loving. I want to be all-knowing within. I want to be kind. I want to be in a place of non-reactivity, because like, why do I need to react? I'm in control here. I'm in control of my state of being. So now, I'm going to drop them for a little while and focus on me. Because I can tell you right now, like I'm sure everyone can agree that like a real sexy quality is somebody who has goals, who goes after what they want, who's kind to others, who's confident, who is helpful. Who's not scared all the time, like, oh, what are you doing? Or who actually is in a knowing that everything is fine right here, right now. They're more present. They're not obsessed with anything for that matter, not just a person. They just know what they gotta do and they do it. So, how do you want to show up? If you need to take a second and get your pen and paper out and write, like, okay, I want to be like this. Oh, if I don't get a text message, how do I want to act? If I don't do this, how do I want to act? No, like, get clear on how it is you want to start showing up. But the first step is to realize that you've been showing up in a really, really unfavorable way, and it has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with how you think and view yourself and your state of being. Once you get stable, you can make different decisions. Once you become conscious of how you've been living unconsciously, then you have a choice now. You can make different decisions. Once you can recognize the insanity of what you've been doing, then you have a choice now. You make different decisions, because nobody is consciously insane. Nobody is consciously obsessing. Even if you watched a video that told you that you needed to affirm all day long, I don't care what it is, and you use that for your obsession, you are not consciously obsessing. You still unconsciously think that you need person right now to feel safe, loved, and secure. That is an unconscious belief that you have, because you feel that you are incomplete. You do not know who you are at this point. So we need to stabilize, become conscious of what we've been doing, get present, breathe. Whew. Okay, now how do I want to show up? I want to be sexy, because I am. I want to do things that I like to do. I want to know that people are preferences in my life, and they're not the end-all be-all for me. I want to know that everything is a reflection of me, and really live like this. I want to know that, like, I want to know and be and act like this. That, like, okay, it's inside first, outside secondary. Oh, I see something unfavorable? That doesn't matter. That's on its way out. I don't have to, that's just a circumstance. It doesn't apply to me. Oh, just a thought doesn't apply to me. I'm stable. And from here, I can tell whatever story that I want. I can show up however that I want, but I'm not going to obsess, because there's no need to obsess, because once I'm stable, I don't feel like anything's missing. And the reason I'm obsessed is because I'm so fearful of some future moment, or not getting it, or getting it and it being this way, or them doing this, or them doing that. Again, illusion. You have to bring it back to you. Everything starts with you. 100%. You take care of your state of being, watch the world take care of itself. You get the inside right, the outside becomes right. You play the game inside first, outside second. Watch what shows up. You being non-reactive, knowing that, like, I don't have to react to that because it doesn't apply to me. Watch how fast that leaves your life. Oh, this person's being mean though. They're saying that they don't want to talk to me. They're never gonna. Okay, that doesn't apply to me. They were talking to an old state of being. That doesn't apply to me. Watch how fast that leaves. Doesn't mean that it may not happen again and again a couple times or whatever, like just depending on how much momentum you've had on said thing, but like watch how fast. Or watch how it keeps happening the more that you keep reacting, the more you keep being unconscious and keep falling for the illusion of the outside. Watch it, it'll stay. It's entirely up to you. That's why you have to come to that point. How do I want to show up? And then consciously show up like this. No matter what. Because if you can get into this type of knowing, you are, like I've said a while back, you are going to take your life to a how nother level. You will take your relationships to a how nother level. Because you are showing up on a how nother level. Because what you are doing internally is on a how nother level. That's it. How you want to show up. Because it's important of you to be conscious of what you've been doing and then to make different decisions if you want something different. Or you can keep experiencing what you've been experiencing. It's still entirely up to you. It's neither good or bad. It's just a matter of fact that you are actually going to continue seeing what you were seeing as long as you are doing what you're doing. As long as you're still doing what you're doing, still obsessing, you're going to see what you've been seeing. If you want to finally decide to make a different decision because you're like, okay, that's not lining up with my desire, but my desire is over here. This is what I want. This is what I've actually been doing. I have to stop doing this and start getting in alignment with this. Real simple, right? But you have to make that decision and then stick to it. And stop playing small of like, oh, they did this or they're not doing this. I can't believe they did this. Then you're not buying. At that point, if you are still blaming people, if you are still like being resentful of if they're not texting you right now or like, oh, they're talking to somebody. If you are still doing this, then you have not fully bought the idea that everyone is you pushed out. That it is inside first, outside second. And again, a lot easier to adopt this type of knowing, this type of belief from a stable place, because when you're in a fearful place, you're seeing everything through fear, through judgment, through the little me, the little person that you're playing. No, they're doing this, they're doing that. Da, 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 da. You get stable, get out of the fearful state, and say, you know what? Nope, I show up differently now. Watch when you get stable. Watch the obsession or when you start to say just a thought and stop taking things so seriously. Watch how fast you start to stabilize, without affirming for something the opposite, without whatever, like just actually getting stable. And then from there say, nope, I show up this way now. And this is how I'm going to act. This is what I'm going to do. And then you do that. And then you watch the outside play its part. But it's hard to see from a fearful state. Anyway, love you guys. How are you going to show up? Decide. Do it. Live your life. Have fun. Know it's done.